You can start in child's pose with your knees as wide apart as the mat. Stretch your arms out in front of you. Take your big toes to touch and let your forehead rest on the earth. The wider you take your knees, the easier it'll be to release your head towards the floor. If your forehead does not come to the floor, you can grab a blanket or a block and rest underneath your head. Start to turn your awareness to your breathing. As you inhale, feel the energy of your pelvis release to the floor. As you exhale, feel your spine extend long. As you inhale, feel your hips get heavy. And as you exhale, extend through the crown of your head. Take a moment to cultivate a goal or an intention, a vision for yourself for this practice. What is it that you seek to get out of this class? And in what way will it serve your highest unfoldment? Remembering that intention as you inhale, come to hands and knees. Spread your fingers and tuck your toes underneath you. Again, move with your breath. Inhaling, let your belly release down. Lift your chin and arch. And exhale, press into the floor, round your back, draw your chin to your chest. Inhaling, arch your back. Look forward. And exhale, round. Draw your chin towards your chest. So start to move fluently with your breath, while still remembering that intention that you set at the beginning of class. So that every movement that you make today helps to move you more quickly in the direction of that goal. Come back to a neutral spine. And then keeping your arms strong as you exhale, soften your upper back. And lift your knees, press back, downward facing dog. So you're like upside down V position. Start with your knees bent and stick your butt up in the air. Get a curve in your low back. And take a few breaths here. And keeping the curve in your back, see if you can start to straighten your legs. And slowly walk your feet forward. Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Separate your feet so they're sit bone width apart and parallel. Come on your fingertips and exhale, fold. Inhale, extend your heart and spine forward. And exhale, fold. Take your hands to your hips and shoulders back. Lift your chin and inhale, rise up. Reach your arms out to the side and up overhead. And exhale, take your hands to your heart. Inhale, float your arms out and up, reach to the sky. And exhale, bow and fold all the way down. Take your arms out to the side, touch the earth. Inhaling, lift your spine, look forward. Exhale, bow, fold forward, move with your breath. Hands to your hips, shoulders back. Lift your chin, inhale, come up. Arms out and up to the sky. And exhale, hands to your heart. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, bow and fold, Uttanasana. Sync every movement with the breath. Inhale, lift your heart, extend your spine long. Exhale, bow and fold. Root down through your legs and inhale, sweep your arms out to the side and up overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart. Close your eyes. And check back in with the way that you feel after just moving those couple simple moves. And bring back into your awareness the intention and the goal that you set at the beginning. This practice will help to align the body in a way that speeds up our unfoldment and our recovery from everything else that we do in our practice. As long as you're mindful and you keep infusing that intention into the poses by remembering your breath, then we have the power to speed and uplift the unfoldment. As you inhale, open your eyes. Exhale, release your hands down. Inhale, float your arms up to the sky. Exhale, bow. Take your arms out to the side and fold forward. Inhale, look forward and long. Exhale, step your right leg back into a straight leg lunge. Come on your fingertips. So in general, we tend to come down onto our palms. And when we do this, the back leg drops and we actually put a lot of weight into the pose. Instead, you want to come up on your fingertips, lift your back thigh up, and come a little bit lighter in the pose. Connect to your breath. And place your hands, step back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, come forward into plank position. As you exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, come forward plank. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, come forward plank. And exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, come forward into plank again. Keep your hips lifted, arms strong. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Point your toes. Move your hands back so you have about a 90-degree bend in your elbows. Spread your fingers. And as you inhale, rise forward and up, cobra pose. Make sure your elbows are not too straight and the upper back hardened in this way. Instead, soften. Draw your shoulders back. Soften your heart. As you root down through your hands, lift up through your head. And exhale, release. Press back, downward facing dog. Invite a deep breath in. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Rise up on your fingertips. Again, the moves are going to become more effective if you are actually infusing your goal into them. So every time you come into the pose, take a moment to soften and remember your goal for the practice. So then every movement that you do actually starts to serve whatever will help you on your path towards that goal. Remember, keep the back leg lifting. Stay on your fingertips, and as you exhale, soften into your front hip. And step forward, Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Root down through your legs. Inhale, take your arms out to the side, lift up. And exhale, both hands to your heart center. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, arms out to the side to fold forward. As you inhale, lift your heart, look forward. And as you exhale, step your left leg back. Pause here. Squeeze your legs towards one another and then put both hands on your hips. Now, in general, our posture tends to be with the shoulders rounded and the upper back getting hardened. So instead, as you inhale, light up on the inside With your hands on your hips, draw your elbows back and think of lifting your heart to the sky. Then keeping your inner body bright, release your hands down and take your arms palms up out to the side and reach out and up. We want to try to reach out and up every single time that we take the arms overhead because it starts to open the chest and create better posture. And keeping here from the core of your pelvis, push through your legs and lift up through your arms. Lean back, take your head back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Stay on your fingertips. Squeeze your legs strong and then jump and switch. Pause again, reconnect to that goal. Reconnect to the intention of aligning with your breath. And then again, jump and switch. And once more, jump and switch. Every time you jump, take a moment to pause and reconnect and realign with that goal. And once more, jump and switch. Good. Place your hands, step back, downward facing dog. In general, when you're in down dog, if your legs are too straight, your lower back is gonna round under. So here, soften your knees, lift your toes, make your legs strong, pull energy up your legs, and start to create a little more curve in your low back by sticking your sit bones into the air. Now notice when you do that, you're gonna get more freedom and more expansion in your low back. Keep that curve in your low back and now stretch your legs straighter. With awareness of your breath, look at your hands and jump forward, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Realign your feet sit bone width apart, parallel, and exhale, bow and fold. Now in this one, you're going to bend your knees like you're going into sort of a skier's pose and put your elbows on your knees, palms face towards each other. Sit nice and low in your seat. Inner thighs, outer thighs, releasing towards the floor. But always remembering your breath. Every time you infuse the breath into a posture, you're going to increase the effectiveness of the pose. So remember your breath. Stay deep and low in your sit bones, but now take your arms out to the side and up overhead. Stay with your breath. Root through your legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release your hands by your side. Pause. Balancing on your left leg, you're going to bend your right leg up into tree pose. So you can take the foot to the inner edge of your thigh, or you can start, if you can't get your foot up there, you start with your foot right underneath the knee, but not on the knee joint. So either go below or above the knee joint. Put your right foot on your inner thigh. So balancing is really good practice for mind-body coordination. So once you get the foot aligned, squeeze your legs towards each other and stretch your arms up. Create power in the legs, squeezing the legs towards one another, and hold your legs towards one another just like you're holding your awareness on that final goal, and see that once you remember that goal and you hold that attention there, how you actually have the ability to take a few more breaths. Squeeze your legs towards each other. Good. Inhale and exhale, release your arms and your leg at the same time. Place your feet next to one another. Take a moment to pause and to feel the change in the sides of the body. So one of the ways to speed up recovery is to actually give the muscles the ability to recalibrate after a pose, for the body to take on the energetic and physical shift that the pose offered you. So you take a few moments to feel the breath, to feel the shift from side to side. And then the muscle memory actually has the ability to set a little bit more deeply, so you're implementing a new pattern of recovery and strengthening, and you're doing it really efficiently. You can open your eyes and shift your weight onto your right leg. Bend your left leg up. Again, go either below the knee or above the knee. Press your left foot to your right inner thigh and vice versa. So you're actually creating this sucking in towards the midline. Make the sides of your body long and then stretch your arms up to the sky. So no movement is void of intention. No movement is void of breath. So wherever you go, as hard as you're working, still remember to soften and breathe. Squeeze your legs towards each other, but at the same time, feel the pose moving. Feel yourself breathing deeper, getting lighter all the way through the top of your head, and stretch down through your right foot. Lift all the way up through the crown of your head, full stretch. And slowly release your hands and your left leg down by your side. Close your eyes once more. Feel your breath. As you inhale, open your eyes, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, bow and fold, touch the floor, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift your spine, extend your heart forward. Now be careful, when we do this, we tend to jam the knees back too quickly and hyperextend the knees. So instead, soften a little bit. Reconnect to your intention by lifting your toes and squeezing your legs towards each other. Pull power all the way up into the core of your pelvis. Keep your legs strong, release your toes down. And then as you inhale, extend your spine forward more and try to push your hips back as opposed to your knees. Lengthen your heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale again. Legs strong, lift your spine forward. And exhale, place your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, plank pose. Every movement follows the breath. Exhale, lower all the way down. Every action of your pose follows in alignment with the service of your goal. Spread your fingers, press your toes down, and inhale, wait for the breath, come up. Shoulders back, exhale. Inhale again, lift up through your head. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Invite a deep breath in. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Spin your back heel down to the floor and come up into Parsva Konasana. So you're going to put your right forearm on your thigh and your left hand on your hip. You can use your right elbow on your knee to help you be propped up. Good. And then again, pause, settle, let your hips get heavy. Lift your toes, squeeze your legs towards each other, and then start to push your inner thighs back. Good. Keep the thighs back and draw the front hip underneath you. Good. Start to turn your belly to the sky, and then stretch your left arm straight up to the sky. Turn your palm forward, and then stretch your arm over your ear. Good. Remember your breath, and give yourself the space to receive the fullness of the pose. Now from the core of your pelvis, start to push energy out through your legs and lift all the way up and out through the top of your head. Lean back, take your head back, full stretch. Good. Inhale, release, and exhale. Release your hands down, press back, downward facing dog. Invite in a deep breath. As you exhale, step your left foot forward, spin your back heel down, and inhale, come all the way up, Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. So you're going to rest your left elbow on your knee. Turn your right foot actually so the back edge of the foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat rather than turned in. And then again, start to let your pelvis settle. This is really the main goal of this practice, is to give us the ability to heal and recover faster by setting a clear intention, one that is loving and one that is actually moving in alignment with the goal that you want. So if you get into a pose and you harden and you tighten right off the bat, you start to close off the potential for that goal. So every movement, get into the pose and take a moment to soften. Remember your breath. Then remembering that goal, start to infuse it into the movement by lifting your toes up, squeezing your legs in, and keeping your legs strong. Start to move your inner thighs back, both of them, right and left. Keeping the thighs back, especially the back leg, start to draw your left seat underneath you. You'll notice that helps you turn your belly to the sky, your heart to the sky. Stretch your right arm up. And then turn your palm to face the front of the room and reach the arm overhead. Remember your breath and start to push energy out through your legs, lift through your arms and stretch in every direction as if every single part of your body is reaching fully and completely to that goal you set. Full offering. Good. Inhale and release, and exhale. Put your hands down, press back. It's downward facing dog. As you inhale, come into plank position. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Point your toes, and as you inhale, rise forward and up, cobra pose. And as you exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Invite a deep breath in. And as you exhale, walk or jump your feet forward, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Realign your feet sit bone width apart, parallel. And so what happens is we just come back to the foundation all the time. We keep going back to this pose and realigning from the feet moving here to a pattern, and then we actually separate the feet wider. And so what this does, it's just like reaffirming and realigning with your vision and your intention and your goal that you set. When you do that, you're going to have the ability to go to that place faster. With a little bit of a bend in your knees, make your legs strong. Now lift your right leg up off the floor, standing split. So first you're going to open up the hip as wide as you can. Turn your pelvis to the right. You can open up, get a nice big opening in the pelvis. And then start to square your hips off. Draw your right outer hip down and your inner thigh up to the sky, squaring off the hips. Now if you need to bend your standing leg, that's fine, or you can put blocks underneath your hands, fine. But try not to put your weight down on your palm, so you're just resting here. You want to get light on your fingertips, make the legs work, and then from your feet, pull power up your legs. One of the clearest ways to open the hips and the low back is pressing the thighs back. So start to push your thigh bones back into the hip sockets. Good. Lift your spine forward, extend long, and keeping the back leg lifted, fold over the standing leg. Good. Inhale and exhale, slowly release. Take your right leg down, place it next to your left, and bow, fold. Recover from the pose by softening and once again connecting to your breath. And slowly as you inhale, lift your spine forward and take your left leg back. Square the hips off. First open up your left hip nice and wide. And then keeping that strength in your standing leg, square your hips off. Draw your left outer hip down, inner thigh up. As you inhale, press into your fingertips, lift your heart forward. And as you exhale, bow and fold. Good. Keep the legs strong and slowly release the left leg down to meet the right. Exhale, fold. Take your hands to your hips. Shoulders back, lift your chin. Inhale, come all the way up. And reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, take your hands to your heart. Okay, now we're going to move into doing some shoulder openers. You can come down onto your hands and knees. We're going to do a 2-minute downward facing dog to start to open the upper back. Okay, so come onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under and spread your fingers. So it's all about the foundation. It's all about the intention of the practice. The thing with yoga is that when you infuse intention into the movements, you are able to achieve that goal faster. So as you spread your fingers really wide, remember that intention that you created for yourself, that goal you set at the beginning of the practice. And with your desire to accomplish that goal, start to push your fingertips down into the earth, right underneath your nails. Take a full breath into the back of your heart, giving more life to that intention. And then as you exhale, without bending your elbows, let your upper back soften. Good. Keep the softness in your upper back, and now lift your knees. 2 minutes, downward facing dog. Start with your knees bent pretty deeply and stick your butt up in the air. As you press your hands down into the floor, look up at your fingertips and lift your armpits up away from the earth. Keep the armpits lifting. Hold your attention and your awareness to that goal that you set. And then as you exhale, melt your upper back towards the floor. Melt your heart towards the floor. Keep that, and now see if you can start to, keeping your sit bones lifted, stretch your legs straighter. Push the tops of the thighs back. Don't think knees back. Think all the way up at the hips, thighs back. Full stretch. And then pulse through the movements again. Bend your knees. Look at your hands. From your hands, pull energy up your arms. Lift your armpits up. Hold your armpits lifted. Exhale. Soften your heart. And then keeping those two actions, now start to press your thighs back. Tops of the hips back. Root back through the legs. And start to push down through your arms, up through your hips, and stretch back and down through your heels. And slowly inhale, come to your hands and knees. Exhale, sit back on your heels and place your hands on your thighs. Let's do palms face up. Close your eyes. Turn back to your breath. Feel the rhythm of your body, the movement and the way that the energy moves through your body. When you start to take these mindful pauses after intense poses, after intense workouts, like if you're doing a really intense training day, you take a moment to do a practice like this afterwards. And what happens is the mindfulness, the attention to the breath and the detail from this practice actually starts to help set the pattern into the body more deeply. So just be aware of how your body feels new and different after that pose. And just simply that mental noting of that pattern starts to make it more effective in the body. Stay connected to that and gently open your eyes. Come up to stand. Stand with your feet parallel, sit bone width apart, and you're going to interlace your hands behind your back. So the tendency is we tend to straighten the arms and pull the energy down the back, which actually shortens the side body and makes it tougher on our shoulders. So instead, bend your elbows, place the fist more along your low back. As you inhale, lengthen through the sides of your body. And then as far as shoulder openers go, the most important thing is going to be the side of the body getting long. So you fill up with that remembrance of your intention. And then you want to draw your shoulders back, the upper arm bones back, to reaffirm that, and you bring the intention into the pose. And you'll feel when you do that, the chest will start to open more. So inner body full with breath, all the way through the crown of your head. As you exhale, elbows and shoulders back. And then start to stretch your knuckles back towards the wall behind you. The tendency is when we do this, the hips drop forward. So don't let that happen. Keep the thighs back, shoulders back, and then start to press your throat back. As you press your shoulders back, lift your heart up, take your throat back. Good. Inhale, release, and exhale. Let your arms settle by your sides. Come down to hands and knees and flip over to lie on your back. So you're gonna feet facing towards the front of the room. Turn your palms face up. You can bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. With your breath. Now as you inhale, start to lengthen from your hips up through your armpits, and then bend your elbows and point your fingertips towards the sky. In order to optimize the joint of the shoulder and its health and mobility, we have to get the upper arm bones to go back towards the earth. So as you bend your elbows, take a deep breath in, lengthen through the sides, and then start to draw your shoulders back. So you pin the back of the arms, the back of the shoulders into the earth, so your heart lifts. Press your head back and inhale, lift both hips up. Good. Keep your head pressing back into your hand, into the floor. And then just like we did in standing pose, interlace your hands behind your back. And you're gonna roll from side to side, get the shoulders tucked underneath you. Keep pressing your head back and your hands back. Reconnect to your breath. Head back, shoulders back. Stay connected to that intention. Head back, shoulders back. Release your hands, bend your elbows. Keep pressing your head back, keep pressing your shoulders back, and lower all the way down. Hips to the earth. Good. Take your arms out to the side, palms face up. And take a few breaths here. And slowly stretch your arms overhead. Roll to your right side. And press into your hands. Come back up to hands and knees. Step your right foot forward between your hands and your back knee down to the floor. So a lot of us start with our back toes pointed. It's not that it's wrong, but it's going to be a little bit more powerful and effective if you tuck your back toe under. Squeeze both legs towards each other and then put both hands on your hips. Reaffirm your intention by squeezing your legs together. And as you inhale, stretch your arms up. As you exhale, take your hands to your heart center. As you inhale, get length through the sides of your body. And as you exhale, take your left elbow to the outside of your front knee and turn. A common thing that'll happen here is the thigh bones and the back leg will tend to drop down. So instead of just hanging and letting the thigh drop down, squeeze your legs. And now move your left hip back, left thigh back into the socket. And exhale, let your right outer seat draw down to the floor. Inhale, create length through your spine. And moving with your breath, exhale, turn. Once more, inhale, get long. And exhale, turn. Inhale, come all the way back to center, reach your arms to the sky. And exhale, hands to the floor. Now squeeze your legs towards one another, put both hands on your front thigh. First get heavy and let your pelvis anchor towards the floor. Now squeeze your legs in and particularly pull your back knee forward. So you're going to push your back knee down, pull it forward until you can get the left thigh to go back into the hip socket, deeply back. Do that so much you can get your back foot up off the floor without using your hands. So you have to pull your back knee forward so your left hip can go back. Keeping that, put your left fingertips on the floor, turn to the right, and reach back with your right hand, take a hold of your foot. Now see if you can prop up on your left fingertips. It just means that you need to move your legs a little bit stronger. So squeeze the legs in, pull the legs towards one another, and again, move your left hip back into the left socket more. And start to turn your body from left to right. Keep pulling your legs in, keep adhering to the remembrance of that intention. Turn a little deeper. And now start to push down into the earth with your legs. Lift your spine up and turn deeper. Inhale, release. Lift your back knee up and jump and switch. Back knee down. Pause and soften. Pull your legs in once more, so much you can put your hands on your front thigh. Squeeze your legs in strong, get your back thigh back so you can lift your foot up off the floor. So you have to pull the back knee forward, stick your right hip back, then you can put your right hand down, turn to the left, and hold your foot. Make your legs strong. As you squeeze your legs in towards each other, move your right thigh back, turn to the left, and then start to move your left outer sit bone towards the floor. Good. Keeping that connection, start to push down through your legs, lift up through your head, and lean back. Good. Inhale, come to center, and lift your back knee up off the floor. Jump and switch. Good. Step your back foot forward, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Take your hands to your hips, shoulders back. Inhale, come all the way up. Okay, separate your feet. Turn your toes out to the side. And then come down to a squat. Now, if your heels can't stay on the floor when you come down to a squat, just roll up a blanket or a mat and prop it up underneath them. You want your heels to have something to rest into. Palms together, lift your spine, close your eyes. And even amidst the pain and suffering and difficulty of this pose, see if you can once again turn your attention to your goal, to your highest dream and vision you have for yourself. And notice how simply by infusing that vision, you actually are empowered to stay here longer. Feel your feet heavy. And then keeping that weighty heaviness of your feet, start to stretch your arms up. Push down through your feet and come all the way up to stand. Exhale, release your hands. Turn your toes to face forward. And then come and lie on your stomach. Stretch your legs out behind you. And spread your toes. Try to press your toenails down into the floor. The tendency will be for the ankles to drop out to the sides. Make sure that you hug your ankles towards each other energetically. Interlace your hands behind your head. Once again, remember your breath. As you press your toes down into the floor, take a deep breath in, lengthen from your toes forward through the crown of your head. And then as you press your feet down, start to press your head back into your hands to lift up. You can pulse a little bit here as you press your feet down. Take your throat back. Exhale, you can come almost halfway down. Inhale, lift your head back. And exhale, lower halfway down. One more like this. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, lower all the way down. Release your hands and turn your head to the left. Feel your body after the pose. You can maybe even feel the way your heart beats. You can feel it on the earth. Just feeling the effects of your body really taking on the challenge of attaining that goal. And then having that loving pause, that momentary ability to wait, to let it settle in. come back to center. Rest your forehead on the floor, bend both knees, and reach back and hold on to your ankles. Now, if you can't hold on to the ankles, you can get like a towel to wrap around each individual ankle or a belt and hold onto the belt instead. If you can get the ankles, hold right about at the joint, not quite just on the feet, and spread your toes. As you press your knees down into the floor, let your inner thighs lift towards the sky. And keeping that action gently, start to lengthen your low back and tone your low belly. Invite a deep breath in, lengthen from your hips through your armpits, and start to press your feet back into your hands. Lift up. Press your feet back and up, kick your heart to the sky. And exhale, slowly release all the way down. And turn your head to the other side. Especially after back bends, let yourself pause and feel the effects. One more time, come back to center, bend your knees, hold your ankles. Spread your toes. And once more, with legs strong and low back long, inhale, kick your feet back into your hands, come all the way up. So keep your legs strong, feel the openness in your chest, and as you exhale, let your heart soften forward. And exhale, release. Come all the way down. This time, come back to hands and knees. Swing your legs around in front of you and lie on your back. Take the inner edges of your legs to touch and flex your feet. Feel your heart rate. So if your back tends to get tight in back bends, this pose we're about to do is going to be the number one thing to do to help realign the low back to get freedom. So keep your legs strong, spread your toes, and start to push your thighs down to the floor. Bend your right leg up, interlace your hands behind your right thigh, and then start to stretch your right leg up. It's not about bringing your right leg towards your nose, but instead it's about pressing your left thigh towards the floor and pressing your right thigh into your hands. Push. Perfect. Press from the core of your pelvis out through your legs. Try to push your right leg into your hands that are holding it. Full stretching in the pelvis. Keep breathing. And then slowly bend your right leg. Keep your left leg strong and straighten your right leg out. Realign the legs again. And bend your left leg up. Interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Keep your right leg grounded to the floor. And then again, stretch your left leg up. Push your right thigh down and stretch your left thigh forward into your left hand. And push from the core of your hips up and out through all 10 toes, full stretch. And then exhale, slowly release, left leg down. Release it right next to your right leg. And then bend both legs, place your feet on the mat. Take your feet as wide apart as the mat. And then as you exhale, take both knees over to the left. Take your arms out to the side, palms face up. And close your eyes. Go back to your intention, your goal, your breathing. Lift both knees up. And as you exhale, take both knees to the right. Again, breathe. Take your attention and go back to the intention that you said at the beginning. What did you say first was your goal for this practice? Bring that thread of that intention all the way back through the class and into this present moment. And breathe deeply in service of that intention. Take both knees up. Realign your hips back to center if they moved. And then take both knees gently into your chest. And gently stretch one leg out at a time for Shavasana. To help with your low back, you can reach with both hands behind your buttocks and pull your sit bone flesh apart. So you widen your seat from underneath you until you have a little bit more of a curve in your low back. Rest your palms up. Chin lifted. Close your eyes.